Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for being here tonight with us. We have a very special guest visiting all the way from Australia. We got Arleen on the call. Arleen normally runs a call on a Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock UK time for the Australian part, but she's also very generously gives her time with life alignment, which is something that she does on the side, and she works with the team of anyone who wants to join. So this is something to look out for on the WhatsApp chats when they come up. They're really, really helpful. But tonight we're going to talk about X39, and I'm going to start by doing the presentation. But first, I just want to hand it over to you, Arlene, and just welcome you here. And maybe you want to just talk a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get going.
So, hi, everybody. So wonderful to actually be on a call at this time zone because normally I'm fast asleep at this time. And so many of my team members are on these calls. So, it's really great to meet people in person and be here. I think one of my most biggest passions with LifeWave is the team aspect and the cooperation between people. I love people and I love working with people and I love building teams. So it's just so wonderful to meet people in person that I've been working with over distance and to put faces to the names and be here in person. So yeah, I've been doing Life Alignment, Life Wave for 2.5 years now. I came to it because of Merle. All of you know Merle Westcott. Merle and I both do life alignment, and we're both teachers in life alignment, as is Adrian Oliver. And it was on a call that Adrian arranged that we were connecting, and Merle just happened to mention this life wave thing. And I just got such a strong hit that I jumped in with both feet, and it's been an absolutely fabulous experience ever since. So, do you want me to tell the testimonial later?
I
Well,
mean, we could have a little bit of it now if you want, and then we could share some of the other ones later on. I know that Nuri's got one, and maybe someone else wants to. What do you think? So we have a little bit of your
we'll talk
story. It's
about
exciting.
what happened with me and why I got into Life Wave.
Yeah.
It's been 3.5 years ago. I had been dealing with breast cancer and I went in for a full body scan because they just wanted to check that the cancer hadn't spread. And that's when we discovered I actually had a tumor in my left atrium of my heart. Very rare sort of thing, not cancerous, but crazy, which required open heart surgery. And because I was going through open heart surgery, I had to have a double mastectomy only 6 weeks later and then another surgery. So I had a 5 month period of intense medical experiences. And in the process, also discovered that I was dealing with osteoporosis. And the medical route for osteoporosis is this injection that's a little bit like plastic cement that they put into your bones. Um, which does work to strengthen your bones, but it also has an awful lot of side effects, including the possibility of your jaw crumbling, which I really wasn't terribly excited about having that happen. So I was actively looking for two things. One was a better solution for osteoporosis. And the second thing I was actively looking for was a second income stream because 5 months of no income when I'm the solo family breadwinner was really tough on the family. I was very blessed because my community did do a crowd fund for me, but I still, even with that, was $15,000 in debt on top of it, right? So that's what got me open to it. And when Merle was on the call and she just mentioned this life wave thing, I don't know what it was, but I just had this bolt of energy go through and I just this knowing I've got to do this. And I didn't know what it was. Totally anti anything MLM and all the rest of it, right? Um, but I decided, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it both ways and I will make sure that I thrive because I'm not interested in struggling and I'm not interested in just surviving. I didn't go through all of that just to survive. So I jumped in with both feet. Um, and while I have definitely had a great improvement in my income, I can't discuss the full details of that, of course, because of compliance, but let's just say very happy. And then the second thing was the osteoporosis. And has that started to improve over the years? It definitely has. So my jaw has gone back to normal. My legs have now gone to osteopenia. So, and there's a spot in my spine that's still osteoporosis, but there's a fantastic shift in that. But just on the side, a few other things that have actually cleared along the way. I did have fibromyalgia. I don't seem to have that at all anymore. I did have shoulder bursitis and foot bursitis, and within a few weeks of starting on the patches, I was walking and suddenly realized there was no pain in my feet. So I've subsequently done a lot of hiking and walking, and the shoulder pain disappeared too. And the rib pain I had post-surgery, well, I don't have that anymore. Those who might have been on my previous calls would have seen these funny times, during the different times when I've been on my patch journey where suddenly I was poking my ribs like this on calls because I hadn't been able to do that for 3 years. I hadn't been able to touch my ribs because of the pain in the ribs post-surgery because they crank your ribs open. And suddenly one day I leaned forward and discovered there was no pain in my ribs. It was mind-blowingly exciting. And then I went to the dentist, and the dentist sort of was probing around and getting very confused because my gum disease had disappeared. It goes on and on and on like this, actually. I think I'm just one of these walking patch wonder people that has had so many experiences of incredible strength returning, my muscles returning. I can pick up 23 kilograms when I'm traveling now with one arm, which is just, it's insane because 3 years ago I could pick up a teacup. But I think one of the most exciting things that happened was with my mother. My mother is 85, and she has always had a huge tremor in her one hand. And she's been patching for this, for the same time as me. I've just been throwing patches on her. Bless my mother, she does what I tell her. It's very nice. After all the years of me doing what she told me to do, it's really nice that she listened to me. And suddenly one day she had had a fall and oddly enough didn't break anything, thank God, which at 85 is always your biggest worry when somebody slips in a shower. She didn't break anything. She just got up and carried on. And I only found out about the fall in the shower some hours later when she just happened to tell me, oh, I fell in the shower today, heart attack. But she was fine. But she had a little bit of back pain. And so I put the ice wave on her, actually, different patch. And then she felt the need to move the ice wave up to her shoulders. So she did. And then she called my name 20 minutes later, like, Arleen, come downstairs. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happened? Ran downstairs expecting some calamity. And she was holding her hand that had previously had a shake this bad. She was holding it and it was absolutely still. So now I have a mother who runs around the house holding boiling water with her left hand because she can, painting and doing everything with her left hand because she can, moving things in and out of the oven. It's given her such an amazing lease on life. It's just the most wonderful thing to watch. So that was the day I cried because I could just see how much it had changed her life. And that meant the world to me, to see her at 85 getting a whole new life. It's just been incredible. So that's a little bit of my story. So.
Oh, thank you, Arleen. It's a beautiful story, and maybe we'll hear a bit more, and we'll certainly go to share halfway through this presentation. But I'll try and see if I can share my screen now, and then we'll start, and then we'll have a break and do some more testimonials. So let's see if I can get it to work. Oops, actually, I need to go back to that one. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's on the wrong. Okay, we'll see. I normally share the wait a minute. Oh, did I remember? Let me just do that again. Sorry, I don't think I remember to put the sound on, so I'm just going to do that again. We start all over again. Share, and then yeah, share sound. That's always the bit we have to remember. Here we go, and then play.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. It all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we are made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave phototherapy patches use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, providing specific health benefits. Here's how the technology works. A patch is applied to specific points on the body where it covers the skin. Infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and its ability to heal itself. On a cellular level, this matters because many of the patch products help counteract free radicals, oxygen molecules that damage cell proteins and contribute to visible signs of aging. When the body is stimulated through phototherapy to release its own antioxidants, these free radicals are naturally neutralized. LifeWave. Live long, live well.
Right. So we always ask anyone who comes on this call for the first time, have you been patched yet? And I know that some of you have been patched and you know the drill, but for anyone who hasn't tried, we're talking about this little tiny patch. It's not very big. And what it does to our bodies when we put it on basically, it's elevates and activates and then starts regeneration. And that's something that we'll be touching on a little bit further into the presentation, how that all happens. So we can't really talk about X39 without talking about David Schmidt, who's our CEO, scientist, and inventor of LifeWave. And he started in 2004, way back when he was asked to help the Navy SEALs with a safe and healthier way of keeping awake on their various duties on board U-boats, boats, whatever. And he invented the energy enhancer, which was a double patch that you wore to increase your energy, and that would give you some ways of coping instead of drinking loads of coffee and taking amphetamine and what have you. So that was back in 2004. But in 2008, he really started focusing his attention on stem cells research, just like everybody else in the world. It became a bit of a buzzword. And he spent 10 years and a lot of research and a lot of money to try and figure out a way of organizing a patch that would stimulate and activate our own dormant stem cells. And that's the exciting bit. And so with X39, you have an incredible opportunity before you to bring the healing power of light to everyone. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. In order to get a patent, you have to really be quite specific with what you produce. You have to show that it does what it says, lots of clinical studies, and of course, it's also really expensive. So a patent is not something you just get. But we're really, really lucky that we have a patent on X39. It means that nobody else can copy what we're doing, and we know that we have the safety of knowing that no one else has this product. But if we have a little look about what the patent says, it says that it's an embodiment. This embodiment enables a wearable phototherapy apparatus that produces a beneficial effect to a human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief via a non-transdermal container. And this is really important bit, this non-transdermal. This is not something you're absorbing through the skin. This is something that is happening through a communication of light. And the non-transdermal apparatus reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate levels of the copper peptide GHKCU in the body. And this is a peptide that also everyone is talking about at the moment. And you probably heard a lot about peptide injections and what have you. Now, David Schmidt has invented a patch that can actually get these copper peptides to also, that also are peptides that we don't have as many of in later years. They can also wake up and start working on our bodies. So this is really exciting. We have something that is helping our body heal by its own natural method. You're not injecting, you're not absorbing, you're basically sending a signal to your body to wake up the innate healing ability your body knows. The body knows how to heal you. It's just forgotten. So this is really, really exciting. And we can see that LifeWay is really getting noticed around the world now. Just last year in October, they won LifeWave, won the Biotech Breakthrough Award. And there was thousands and thousands of nominees from over 15,000 different countries. And to have that global recognition is absolutely huge. So there's real excitement around X39 and LifeWave at the moment. So how does it work? Well, it's a proprietary form of phototherapy, which is just a slightly different way of saying light therapy. And we know light therapy from, if some babies get put under light when they're born because they're, need a bit of blue light. We go into red light for pain and recuperation, and the sun is a form of light therapy as well. So if you go into the sun, you know that there's a process that's going to happen that will help your body produce vitamin D. And so all this is just another way of using phototherapy. But this is a patented nanocrystal technology, nano just meaning very, very small crystals. And again, really, really important to remember. And they've been programmed in a certain way to communicate back into the body. And what's really important to remember is that you're not ingesting or absorbing any stem cells or any drugs or chemicals or stimulants. It's literally a reflection of light to activate. So what happens is we emit low-level infrared light all the time. That light, when we put a patch on our skin, that light will be reflected back from the patch, and it will activate a signal to the body to produce something that it needs in order to function. And in this case, it's the copper peptides. And the beautiful thing about the copper peptides is that they can communicate further on to our stem cells. And it's completely non-transdermal and non-invasive. But at this point, we should also just mention that LifeWay products are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. X39 is really here to help our bodies find its own way of healing, as I mentioned earlier. So why would you wear the X39? Well, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of us with age lose the ability to produce both copper peptides and stem cells. And we're born with the most amount, but by the time we're 30, we've already got half of these cells active only. And by 60, almost all of them are not really optimally functioning. And that's why we go old, go gray, have bad, repair, and get tired, get achy, and all of the things that some of us at least know. But we don't have to age that way any longer, because we have a way of repairing the system in our body, which is really, really exciting. So what are some of the benefits of X39? There are so many that these are just some of the amazing things that happens when we put this patch on. And some will have all of them, some will have different ones, some will have some of them. But I'm looking at the list and thinking, I definitely have had all of these things happen to me. I've been patching, and I'm sure we should have mentioned that, for about 2.5 years as well. And I'll get back to my own story later. But I definitely feel that I'm hitting a different kind of health and wellness than what I had before. I have improved exercise performance and definitely improvement in strength. And there's a really better energy flow. I can just tell that from the results I'm having, and the stamina as well. And I'm really, really excited by the fact that I'm not having to take a whole load of pills. I'm literally, this is not about another thing to add into the long list of vitamins and what have you that you are taking. So it's a really lovely way of achieving optimal health and a state of complete physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So how does it actually work and what are the long-term results? And these are actually case studies that are available to find on thisisit.info.com, which is a great website that we'll talk about a little bit later. You might want to take a screenshot or write it down, or you can ask your upline to maybe help you find the information. But in there, we can see that within a couple of days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. And that's passive. We've never had anything like that before. We've had resveratrol until now that resets two genes, and obviously that's a completely different kettle of fish. You got 4,000 genes beginning to work straight away. Within 6 weeks, you have your brain become more balanced. We've got topography maps that show us a very kind of inflamed brain that we can see on the picture, and by 6 weeks, we can see that inflammation has come down completely. And that is really, really exciting for brain health as well. Your collagen increases over 6 months, and the collagen is, of course, really, really important for our whole bodies, not just skin, hair, and nails, which is lovely. And a lot of us notice a difference in our skin. But we can then also understand that when the outside is looking better, the inside will start looking better as well. We need the collagen in our gut, in our joints, and all of those places. So this is really, really important bit as well. And then we've had some fantastic results on heart health, where we can see that within 6 months, the heart can reverse to up to 8 years in age. So it's a very, very exciting technology, and David Schmidt likes to call it it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. So how to wear X39? Well, you want to make sure you just wear it every day. That's the main thing. You don't want to wear it today and then forget tomorrow and then wear it maybe Friday. You want to make sure you wear it every single day, and you put it on for 12 hours, and then you give your body a chance to elevate, activate, and regenerate. Those are those words we heard in the beginning. But it's also really important to give the body a rest. So after the 12 hours, give and take, you take it off, and you give the body a chance to rest, repair, and rejuvenate. And we like to wear X39 in the day because it's a patch that can both activate our kind of energy, and also we are really, it's really important for it to work at its optimal, that we drink enough water. And you don't want to be, obviously you won't be drinking at night, and it's part of having a much better communication to your cells. When you drink and add a bit of electrolytes, this will really help the patches work, and it will also help any detox symptoms that might be there. So if you feel that you're a little bit tired, important to take a rest, but you also just drink a bit more water, and that will really, really help. And then you start again the next day. So you wake up, put a patch on, go to bed, take it off, wake up the next day and put a new one on, and that's how you do it. And you can wear more than one patch at a time. We have a couple of other wonderful patches that we use alongside X39. X39 is the patch that we recommend everyone to wear. It's the one that really does the elevation, activation, and regeneration of our bodies. But alongside that, you could put Aeon on, which is amazing for inflammation, Iceway for pain, or some of the other patches that you can read up about. And so you can wear more than one patch at a time, but don't wear more than one X39 at a time. Don't wear more than any of the single patch. Wear just one of those and put 3 on together. That's absolutely fine. And again, drink lots of water. So opportunity happens by creating solutions, and there's a lot of problems in the world at the moment. One of them is that we are absolutely oversaturated with illegitimate products, and there's a lot of claims out there that people say this does this and you can do that, and it'll cure everything. And of course, a lot of this is not based on technology or patents, and there is obviously also Lifeway products on the market which are legitimate. So we have to be really careful to always buy from a link from someone who's a brand partner, or buy directly from Lifeway, because you cannot get the guarantee or the money back guarantee that goes along with the patches if you don't buy directly from Lifeway. And there's also a lot of financial struggle. And Arleen, you were touching on the fact that you were suddenly stuck in the middle of having gone through quite a lot of illness. And a lot of us feel that we need a secondary income alongside the income we might be we might be insecure in our job market. It might be that, we know that AI is just around the corner, and it's not always so sure that we have a job for life anymore. And so a lot of people like to add another business into their day. And of course, I also know there's a lot of poor health and wellness out there. So we have a really exciting solution at LifeWave. There's a patented phototherapy technology. We have a duplicatable business model, which is really easy to actually copy, because it's all there, written down and given to you. And we have a way of achieving optimal health and wellness. So this is exciting. And this was the website I was talking about earlier, where you can really go to a deep dive on X39. www.thisisitinfo.com. You can hear doctors talk about it. There's an interview with the whole doctors panel. There's before and after pictures. There's clinical studies. I mean, anything you really want to know about X39 will be in there. Interviews with David Schmidt and so forth. You can also Google David Schmidt on not Google. Go on don't Google. Go on YouTube and find him there, because he has got so many interesting videos that you can listen to, and YouTube is a really good place to go and look as well. So now we get to the exciting bit. We always love it when people like to share their testimonials, and they can be really emotional and life-changing sometimes. So I'm going to stop the share, and then we can have a little chat and see if anybody would like to share something as well. And let's stop share. Here we go. Okay. So have we got anyone who would? Nuri, I know you said you had a share. Let's see what you've got to give us today, because you've always got some good stories.
Well, gosh, I don't know where I'd be today if I didn't find X39, because it's something that by the time I got to 64, I had gone from 60 to 64 like I was on a downhill slide, one of those whoopee slides. And it was just that I didn't know myself anymore. I had brain fog, I was chronically tired. I had dry eyes. I became antisocial because my eyes hurt to actually look at somebody and talk. And that also affected my joints, because I realized at the age of 50, we actually stopped producing hyaluronic acid, which is the body's moisturizer. So the skin starts aging, the eyes get dry, the joints feel like there's bones rubbing together, especially on your knees. And then, of course, I had psoriasis developing on the back of my skull that was getting worse from the age of 60. So I wasn't a happy chappy, and I wasn't looking forward to getting old. And I didn't think I was old, but I was feeling very old. And I actually started using the X39 9 months after Merle told me about it, because I'm a health professional and I thought I knew too much. So I did analysis paralysis for 9 months. And then I realized that perhaps the patches would only work if I used them, never mind how much research I did. So my famous line now is, if you're thinking about the patch, stick it on and then think about it. Because when I put mine on, 3 days later, my psoriasis dried up. 2 weeks later, brain fog gone, energy through the roof. In less than a month, my frozen shoulder and chronic neck pain gone. My dry eye gone, and I'm now starting to run up and down stairs where I used to be frightened of them. So, gosh, unbelievable. And now I'm going to be 67, but I actually don't feel older than 55. And most days I feel like I'm 50. So if you want to grow younger while you're growing older, stick a patch on and make sure you do it every day. So that's my testimonial. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Nuri. That is, and we're the same age. And I have to say, I do not feel like 67 either. And we started it exactly at the same time, I think. So my story is that I came into patching from a friend who told me about it, like most of us here. And it's a friend I really trust. So I did took a lot of persuading, but I did have to just think about it for a few seconds. I was really for me, the important bit was it was non-transdermal. that I could count on the fact that I wasn't getting some weird stem cells coming into me from somewhere that I didn't know. I was just so happy to hear that it was light therapy. I love the idea of bringing more light into the body. I think we're living in times where light is of the essence. You know, we want to bring more light into our bodies if we can. So I started with the hope that I would maybe help some of the low-lying pain that had started to creep in. Like you say, you know, one day you're, 55 and the next you're like, what happened? You know, everything is hurting slightly. And I had a knee that I couldn't bend. So I was hoping that it's particularly with my knee that I would have a quick result. But I wasn't one of the one patch wonders at all. In fact, it took quite a while for me to kind of feel anything. But it was nevertheless only a couple of weeks in when I started thinking I'm actually sleeping really well. And the main thing was that I'd been waking up at night with pain in my hands, pain in my fingers, and I had stiff fingers as well. And another thing that I'd noticed was happening is I was waking up at night, we were at least sleeping on the left side maybe, and when I woke up, my neck was so sore that I couldn't turn it to the right. I'd have to lift my neck to turn it. It was that stiff. And I thought, what is going on, And then over those next couple of weeks, when my sleep started to improve, which was another godsend, really, because I mean, I never really slept that well since hitting menopause. Then I realized I wasn't waking up with a stiff neck, with this pain in my fingers and joints any longer. So then I got really excited. I think I added Eon into that into a month after that. And then 2.5 months in, 3 months in, I was back to bending the knee that I hadn't been able to bend for 5 years. I tried everything bar going and getting a steroid injection. I didn't want to take medication. So, but homeopathy, acupuncture, cranial, you name it, I'd done it. And everything was always better, but it never resolved it. It always came back. So with this, I am still now 2.5 years later able to do my squat, which I'm very pleased with. I keep checking in to see that I'm still doing it and I still can do it. But over the 2.5 years, I had so many other things happen to me as well. And I think that's the beauty of the patch journey that we're on, some of us, that we might have all come to it for a specific reason, but what happens over time is that all these other things start to happen, and you can't really put a time limit or time scale on it because suddenly you just realize it's happened. You go to the dentist and he says your gums are looking really well, and you haven't really noticed that there's no bleeding when you do your flossing, and you drive at night with lots of lights coming towards you, and normally it's like, oh my God, where's the white line in the middle? I can't see the curve, and your lights are just, you're blinded. And suddenly you're driving and you're thinking, hang on a minute, there's not that really horrible, flashy kind of feeling that I can't see where I'm going. And so things just seem to just slowly happen over time. And I think that's a really exciting bit, because now that I've had my kind of major repair, I can now feel that there's room for all the other things that also needs, to come along the way. So for me, that's really exciting. I've had some fantastic results. My clients, I'm a homeopath, and I do herbs as well. And one of my friends, who's fellow homeopath's daughter, was 15, I think, about 15, 16, when she started patching for acne on her skin. And we were talking together, her and me. I mean, she's a very knowledgeable homeopath as well, and she hadn't really managed to help her daughter. And we said, shall we try? And I'm like, there's no guarantee. We don't know where the body's going to heal first. But I would suggest X39 and Aeon. And she's obviously, this young girl has plenty of stem cells, but something wasn't kind of working. She was a month into patching when her skin started to really clear up. But what really changed for her was her mom's observation that her ADHD just really, really calmed down. And so over the next 2 months, there was a massive change in the way she was reacting in terms of last minute change of plans, school, all that kind of stuff that would normally stress her out. So I thought that was really exciting as well. So you don't have to be old and wrinkly or gray or whatever to take advantage of this patch. It really has a way of helping everyone along the way. And I'm looking at you, Jonathan, and I know that you have a really, really lovely story about both, I think, your daughter, but also yourself. So maybe you'd like to share a little bit of your journey.
Hi guys, I'm Jonathan, and yeah, my journey with LifeWave has been nothing short of exciting, and my family has just arrived, so bear with if they bust through the door in a moment. Um, but yeah, it's been nothing short of life-changing, really. And when I first found it, I had a little base of knowledge on like what stem cells are and what they do in the body, and like after doing a bit of research, was too intrigued not to try it. And like I'm very glad that I did at that point. I'll just give you like a highlight reel of what it's done for me and my family. Because yeah, we've been patching, like we sort of all joined at some point, and yeah, myself almost 2 years now patching, I think. Not as consistently as I should be, but yeah, putting it on. So highlight reel is I had sciatica in my back, battling with it for almost 2 years. Put this patch on. 2 months later, it was gone and hasn't come back since. Immediately told my parents about it. Dad had heart failure and like a whole bunch of health problems. Heart was functioning at 26%. Doctor gave him 4 years to live based off his bloods. That was 5 years ago. And yeah, he's been patching now also for almost 2 years. Heart function has gone from 26% to 50%. He's been discharged as a cardiac patient well, not a cardiac patient, but a patient with heart failure. Because to have heart failure, you have to have less than 40% heart function, and he has 50. So no longer in that category, no longer sees that specialized cardiologist. For my mom, yeah, and like man, my dad, he used to take about 100 pain meds every month. Now, like he takes the odd one here or there. Yeah, he was on like 20 different medications. Now he's on like five. It's been really great for him. And for mom had cancer, then was put on removed successfully, recovered, was put on medication to prevent it coming back. That medication side effect was decreasing of bone density. Mom developed osteoporosis. Started patching osteoporosis. Some of it has completely reversed. Some of it has gone back to osteopenia. Yeah, for my I could go on and on and on.
I did you not? Your daughter had an issue, a result as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she does. And she did. And if it
Yeah.
is okay, she's just in the next room.
Okay, so you don't want to know. I understand. No, but
Yeah.
that's amazing. And Jonathan, I remember you said that you literally couldn't get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, like, well, not that I couldn't get out of bed. Initially, when the injury happened, yeah, for about a week, I couldn't. But I did recover and I could function again, but I was in pain constantly
Yeah, you were in,
all
that's what I
day.
meant. You were in constant pain
Yeah,
getting out of bed every morning. Yeah. That's
out of
amazing.
bed was a mission. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember the joy, I don't know what word to use, but like that day when I woke up and I swung my legs out of bed and there was no pain. So I was like, gosh, this is life again, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, thank you very much for sharing with everyone there as well. Do we have anyone else who'd love to have a quick story? Or Arleen, have you got another bit that you might want to add to your very exciting story as well for anyone who came in a bit late?
Okay, one of the latest things that we just discovered has happened for me. Um, I damaged my right eardrum and it tore over 20 odd years ago, probably about 24 years ago now. And it never healed. It never sealed over. Normally eardrums do, but mine never did. And that was confirmed only a year ago when I had my last surgery. They were looking in my ear, they do all the checkups and said, "Oh, are you aware that your right eardrum's torn?" I said, yeah, I know about that. And I've had only, I lost part of my hearing in that ear as a result. And then just a couple of, actually just over a month ago, before I was coming on this trip, I had a bit of a blockage in my one ear. And I thought I'll just go and get my ears checked up anyway, because they had a hearing test. So I went to have the hearing test and I said, "Oh, this is got a torn eardrum and I've lost hearing in that ear. And they went, okay. And they did the test. And this woman's looking very confused. And she looks at me and she goes, and then she's looking in my ear and she goes, I know you said that the doctors said you had it's not torn. So somehow since May last year and now, this ear after 24 years of not healing has actually healed up and I have 100% hearing back. So some things take longer, some things they just take time. And as time goes by, the only reason why I know that is because somebody checked it out again. So some of these things you don't realize just where the healing's happening until you do some kind of test like that. So yeah, I mean, I have so many, but that's just the latest one that I just discovered accidentally. Oh, this has now happened.
Yeah, no, amazing. Well, thank you, Arleen. And maybe we should just move on. And there's always time for a little bit more chat at the end. So should we just start sharing? And you can talk a little bit about the opportunities with LifeWave as well, because that's something that has really helped you in your journey as well. So
Go
I
ahead.
will
You
share
can
my screen.
to the ones I've had. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just do my thing. Okay.
Here we go. So we start with that one.
So, how do you become a customer? There are different types of working with the patches. You can be a brand partner or you can be a customer. So you don't have to go into this as a business. You can just get patches. There are three types of customer accounts, and they have loyalty benefits and credits. And having customers that actually helps you actually earn and pay for your patches too. So we have a retail customer who just comes in, doesn't join anything, just buys as and when. And for X39, that would be the retail price. This is all in American dollars of $149.95 per sleeve. A sleeve is 30 patches. So someone who doesn't want to be on a monthly subscription, just wants to buy, doesn't want to belong to anything, that's a great way to do. And note on the customer side of it, there is a 90-day money back guarantee. So for people that are hesitant, this is a great way to start. For people who want to get into it maybe later, not sure, this is a great way to start. Then if you really want to get a better price, you can become a preferred customer. This is a monthly subscription. Now, your subscription can be stopped at any time. So that doesn't mean you're stuck in it, but you sign it up as a subscription. You pay for your first month, and then once a month, it automatically just comes off your account, and you don't have to think about it. They just send it to you. So that's $99.95 per sleeve for X39. And then according to your country, you're going to have your tax and your postage. Okay. And then the better one, my favorite one, which most of my clients are using, is the Preferred Customer Plus program. So once again, you're going to get your 30% off, just like your preferred customer. This is an annual subscription fee of $25, but you're going to get that back really quickly because you get a sample pack of supplementary patches. Where you can test drive some of the other types of patches. And you get access to a referral program. So you're going to receive free product and a credit when referring other customers who make purchases. So that's a really nice program available for people who don't want to do the business, but they can actually eventually get some free products and they can get credit into their account. So it's really lovely. And you have the 90-day money back guarantee. So that's the one level. Thank you. Now, the important thing about LifeWave that you want to remember, when you start thinking about investing in a company, for example, if you want to become a brand partner, you don't want to be involved in something that's just a fly-by-night company. And the special thing about LifeWave, it's gone through the rough and ready things of all the trials and all the errors that people make when they start a company, because LifeWave is over 20 years in age, okay? And it's in 85 countries, and they are constantly looking to put it into more countries. And, they've had their tough times, they've had their rough times, and you can see that in 2021, it was a $20 million profit company, okay? But then X39 came in, Steve and Gina Merritt came in, who run the This Is It team, and other really big names came into the company. And suddenly, with a product like X39, it just took off. And by 2022, it was a $320 million company. And then you can see how the figures have gone up to 430, 550, 650, and they're pushing to $1 billion. So it's just continuing to grow. And that gives you real stability when you're investing your time and energy into a company. Thank you. Not only that, but you can actually see it's also independently ranked by momentum. And this is the kind of company that analyzes all the different types of home marketing companies and network companies. And LifeWave is consistently, I think for the second time in a row, been ranked as #1 in momentum.
Good.
What's this company, Business for Home or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
But you check it out and you can see how they actually independently check these out. And I like to know that because you want to know that your company is also being vetted by outside things. So it gives you that extra stability. Okay. Now, what does freedom mean to you? Freedom is something that's very important for me because it gives me more time. It gives me location. I'm actually sitting working in Caroline's house right now in the UK and having fun times and holidays. I'm doing some work, but I'm also having a lot of free time. 2 weeks ago, I was in Norway, and the week before then, I was in Budapest, and that was a paid trip from the company. And then the week before that, I was in Australia. So I get to have working holidays, which is really cool. Debt free. This is one of the things that I have used to shift that debt, and I am almost totally debt free now, which is an incredible feeling. I'm not stressed about money in that way anymore. And of course, travel, experiences, limitless options. It's really up to you. So, really thinking about what's important in your life and what does freedom mean to you. So, what is very special about a conventional business versus a LifeWave business? So, a conventional business has high startup costs. It's high risk because you're trying something new. There's long hours involved and there's a lot of trial and error. Well, LifeWave's already gone through all of that. LifeWave is a low startup cost. So, you're just basically investing an annual fee of $25 in a year plus whatever startup pack you choose. And you're using those patches. So that's a really low risk. Okay. You're not having to stock up because your clients, they're going to be ordering directly through the website. So you don't have to have the stock. There's also a 30-day risk-free trial for you as a brand partner, 90 days for your customers if they're coming in on the customer. You make your own schedule. I still run my life alignment business and I do LifeWave sometimes full time, sometimes part time, sometimes I blend the two. It's up to me. So it's your choice as the schedule. And the wonderful thing about LifeWave, it does have that 20-year track period. Now, we don't make promises or guarantees regarding income because success or failure of each brand partner, like any other business, depends on your skills and your personal effort. So you can't compare the results you're going to get to me or somebody else. It's up to you. Some of my brand patent partners do make more money than me, some make less. It's up to you and how much time and effort you want to put up and the skill level you want to be at. So we don't guarantee that, but like any business, no business can guarantee that. It's up to you. So how do you sign up as a brand partner? So this is if you're wanting to possibly get involved in this as a business, or if you want to be able to buy your patches as and when without having a monthly subscription. You're going to be receiving 30% discount. You can have a monthly subscription. It's optional. You're going to get placed in a binary left or right, and we'll explain that later. You get the 30-day money back guarantee, and there are 9 different ways to make an income if you choose to become a brand partner and to do the business. Now, our prices, of course, exclude delivery because it's different in each country. So shipping and fees and taxes, that's different in each country. So you have the option of a core, and that's $295. It includes your $25 annual fee, and you're going to get the equivalent of 3 sleeves of X39. Now, when you start up, we're going to talk about sleeves of X39, but you could mix and match this with other products. So you could have X39, X49, or the supplementary patches, the slightly cheaper ones. 2 of those equal 1 X39. So you can mix and match. Don't think, oh my God, I have to have 20 sleeves. No, you don't. You can mix and match, okay? So that's the core at $295. You are saving your $25. It's basically works out to about a $30 saving there already. The other option is advanced. Advanced is $535. So, and this is for 6 sleeves. 6 sleeves should be around $600 plus your 25. So it should be $625. So, you're already getting quite a big saving here. And this is the equivalent of 6 sleeves or mixing and matching. Then the Advanced Plus, this is for business builders. You're going to pay $9.75 for 11 sleeves, and that includes your $25 sign-up fee. You'll only pay that a year later again. Mix and match up to 11 sleeves there. And premium, this is for your people who really want to go for it. If you want to have lots of stock, sometimes when we sign people up, they want their patches there. They don't want to wait. So we'll give them the patches out of our stock. And then when theirs arrive, they return them to us. So it's not free. It's just we are able to hand patches to people, and they then give them back to us when they receive them, so they can start patching immediately. So it is handy to have that, or if you want to sell on, or if you just want to have good stock. And that's $1,750. And that's for 20 sleeves. Remember, 20 sleeves should be around the $2,000 mark plus your 25. So your full price, if you were paying full price, would be $2,025. So that's a very big saving of $275 actually by doing that. And of course, that is also something that you can mix and match. Okay. So you can create your own own account with LifeWave using the referral link from the person who introduced you to LifeWave. So if you want to get going with this, speak to the person who signed you up and who sent you to this call, and they will give you a referral link, and then you can actually start your own account. I advise you actually get them to help you sign up, because then you won't make any mistakes. And it's always nice to have that hand-holding process. Once you have your own account, you'll be able to order directly from LifeWave online, make your payments, and your patches will be delivered directly to you. So, as we said earlier, there are 9 ways to earn from LifeWave, which is very exciting. It's not just one way. There are 9 different ways, and it's up to you which ways you go. So you have retail profit. If someone's just buying directly from you or from the website and they don't want to be a customer or they don't want to be anything, you earn retail per pack of sleeves that they order from you. You get customer premiums. So those people who are just ordering monthly as a customer, you get money, you'll be earning money from them too. You get business launch bonus. So, if somebody is choosing to start this, you've got a 9-week period in which, if you rank to a manager or a 2-star manager, you can get $25 or $50 extra per week for that time period, okay? Which is very exciting. That helps you actually earn the money back that you've spent really, really quickly. Product introductory bonus. So when somebody signs up with you, you're going to earn a certain amount of money for them signing up. Level earning bonuses. As you go higher up, these other ones will make more sense. I don't go into them too much, but just know that you're going to earn money from people who, in the first 3 levels, that buy. Binary bonuses. As you go higher in rank, you earn 10% of your one leg. Mentor matching. So I've got different people at different ranks. So as they're earning, I earn from them too. And breakthrough incentives, which I love because I had one earlier this year. When you hit certain ranks, you also get bonuses, and that bonus will start at, what is it, $500, $5,000, and then it builds really, really high, and you get gifts in between. So they really encourage you to go forward. And then for those people that are really earning up there, they also can get the quarterly leadership pool bonuses as well, where they get a percentage of the profits. So you earn at whatever level you're at. And yeah, there's 9 ways of earning. I find that so exciting.
Oh,
As
what
I said,
happened here?
that don't worry about it. When we spoke briefly about, if you want to get going and you want to get going fast, you get that extra bonus for launching, and you'll get that $25 or $50 when you start ranking quickly. So this is just showing you a brief wave. If you just sign up one person on your left and one person on your right at advanced setting, you'll already be at that 1-star manager level, earning that extra $25 a week. And if you go faster, which actually 4 of my people did from Norway when we went there and we did a big launch for them, and 4 of their people are already earning that extra $50 a week, which is really handy. Okay. So that's LifeWave's binary and uni-level hybrid plan. There are 9 ways. You don't need any structure. You're going to basically just go There's so many ways to earn. I'm not going to talk too much about this because it's not going to make sense, but just realize that you can earn up to 20,000 per person at deeper levels, up to 25,000 when you go onto the weekly. So the amount of money you earn is up to you and up to the depth that you want to go. Okay. And it's a duplicationable system. It's basically monkey see, monkey do. When I started this business, I didn't know what I was doing. In fact, not knowing is sometimes better because you don't drown in information. So all I did is I started the business and I told people that I was starting the business, and they went onto a call, and my upline did a call like this. I didn't do the call. She did the call. And then when people said, yes, I want to do this, she helped me because she signed them up and I just followed instructions. Okay. The key is make it simple and make it duplicatable. You want to produce lots of mini yous in their own style. And it's monkey see, monkey do. And the wonderful thing about this is a team. We have wonderful training systems in place and a great team of upline that will hold your hand every single step of the way to make it easy for you to duplicate. So the two very important websites, this is at team.com. That's the website that is going to show you every little step of the business and how to do the business. So that's your how to do the business website. It's fantastic. This is at info.com. That's the website I send my new people to, or people that are interested, because it's got fabulous information on the patches, videos about it, doctors' panels about it. The patents are on there. So it's a great research patch website for people who are interested in it. We even have school. This is it. A team is on the school platform with a whole lot of videos and information there. And we even have an app, the lifewavenow.com, which helps me write my social media posts, and it's got the training videos on there. So this just shows you just how much support there already is in place for you. You do not need to design it. It's all there for you. So the time is now to make your move. If you're serious about your dreams like I was, there is hope for your future. I cannot begin to tell you how much this has changed my life. The community I've made, the friendships I've made. It does. I am earning a double income these days. It's made my life so much easier. So it's up to you. If you want to just become on as a customer or as a brand partner, please do contact the person who sent you to the call, and they'll help you make the next move. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Arleen. That was really good. And I'm going to stop the share, and we can go back to stopping the recording, and then we can have a chance to, if anybody wants to ask some questions.